Hey guys, it's Fee, and I am here to do Lori's Christmas tag. If you're not familiar with Lori, her channel is Lori Cystic Sista. I will link her original video below. I really suggest watching it. She is entertaining to watch. If you are looking for a fun, crazy gal, go watch her original tag, and then go and do this tag. All right, so this is her Christmas tag. And I've got the questions right here. I wrote them down. And we've got 17 Christmas questions. And for the most part, they're all this or that questions, which is kind of fun. All right, so I'm going to dive right into this. Number one, colored lights or white lights? Well, I don't know if you guys can tell because these are LED lights, and on the screen right now, they kind of look like they're doing a wah, wah, wah dance. I don't know if it's going to appear that way when I upload this, but these are blue. So my answer actually is neither. I prefer blue, solid blue lights. I love blue Christmas lights. I used to decorate the outside of my house in blue Christmas lights also. Over the years, it's kind of graduated to all kinds of different colors, but mostly white. So if I had to choose between colored and white, I would go with white. But my preference is blue because my whole tree is blue. And I don't know if you can tell, but most of the ornaments are blue and silver and white. So blue is my answer. All right, number two, stockings or presents? Do I have to pick? If I have to pick, I would say stockings. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Chelsea or Veronica Vonnie Vlog. I can't remember who said this, but somebody said that stockings is when someone finds a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't ask for, but they know you would really like, and they stuff them all in a stocking. So that's always really fun. My husband and I try and do stockings every year for each other because it's just fun. My problem is my husband finds ways of spending entirely too much money on what he puts in the stockings, which I know some of you may be thinking, hey, that's good for you. Yeah, but, you're not supposed to do that. It's just supposed to be cute little things. Anyhow, stockings. I'm going to go with stockings. In the past, we've also filled up the stockings for my cats. Now, those of you who know me know that I have 8 cats. I don't have 8 stockings. I have 1 stocking for all of them. So, stockings are fun. Stockings are fun in our house. We like stockings. All right, number 3, give gifts or receive gifts? I'm going to go with give gifts. I love seeing people's reactions when they open gifts. It's just a ton of fun, and it's rewarding, and it feeds the soul and the heart. So give gifts. Number 4, angel or star? I'm going to go with star. I'm going to try and pick you up and show the top of this tree. Hopefully we'll see how that goes. It's kind of a star, but it's also a big gigantic ribbon. I take wired ribbon and I make a big bow, and there's little stars behind it. So I'm going to go with a star, but my real answer for what I put on the top of my tree is a big poofy bow. So here we go. Let's see. There you go. That's the top of my tree. And you can see there are some trails of the ribbon coming down. But I have kitties. So we try and keep the ribbon at a safe kitty height. All right, number 5, open presents quick or slow? The actual opening of the presents, I'm a quick opener. I've got a pretty good reputation for giving people a hard time. Not necessarily when they slowly open presents, but when they try and peel the tape open so that they're not ripping the wrapping paper and try and slide the gift out. I like giving people a hard time, asking them if they're going to save the wrapping paper. I like opening presents fast. I like ripping into the paper and making a mess. But then once the present is open, I do like taking my time enjoying it. Number 6, warm fire or sleigh rides? All right, those of you who know me already know the answer. It's going to be warm fire. Why? Because I can't stand anything below 60 degrees. I love Christmas, but I wish it was in July. I really do. So anything that keeps me warm. Some people might say, hey, well, if you're on a sleigh ride with your husband, he'll keep you warm. Yes, absolutely, and that would be great, but I probably still wouldn't be warm enough because I just get cold way too easily. And winter is not my thing. So indoors, warm fire. I don't have a real fireplace. I love real fireplaces. They are a little bit dangerous. You've got to make sure you upkeep them. You got to make sure you keep the flue open and you don't try and light your house on fire. But I have a fake fireplace. I have one of those, it looks like an LED screen has been built into a little wooden fireplace that you can wheel around anywhere. We don't wheel it around. We kind of make it look like it's a solitary unit in a particular room, and it serves as a little heating unit. So that's kind of great. But the fake flames, they appease me because I really do like fireplaces, even though we don't have a real one in this house. So that works. That works. All right, number 7, snowball fight or making a snowman. Well, I'm going to have to go with neither because I don't know if it was in Vlogtober or if it was in Veda or one of these years, something came up about this. And I said one of the best ways to piss off a fee is to throw a snowball at me. Just wet and it gets everywhere and it gets in your clothes and it makes you cold and oh no, I don't like it. And the problem is making a snowman is just as bad because I don't care if you've got like the best sleeves and gloves on and scarves and hats and the snow is still going to get somewhere. And then I'm going to get cold and I hate the way it feels. It's cold and slimy and nasty and no. I don't like it. I was probably the only kid that really hated playing in the snow. I didn't play in the snow. Now, my husband says one day when we have a child of our own, what will probably happen here is the child will go, "Oh, come on, Mommy, come and play and build a snowman with me and Daddy." And yeah, I'll probably cave. But I would prefer to be pointing from maybe the inside of the house or maybe the porch. I can do the porch, but just pointing, saying the nose goes here, the eyes go here. Oh, you need a scarf? I'll go and get one. Yeah, snow is not my thing. I don't like touching it. I don't like feeling it. I don't like seeing it. I don't like shoveling it. No. So unfortunately, I can't pick one or the other on that one. All right, number 8, Christmas caroling or Christmas stories. I love listening to caroling, but I can't sing. So I'm going to go with Christmas stories. We've got some pretty good storytellers in my family, and in my extended family, and in some friends of mine. And that's always fun. Some stories you can hear over and over and over again, depending on who's telling it. Certain people are just great storytellers. Number 9, red or green. Well, if we're talking Christmas, it might not be as blatantly obvious, but you guys know fee green. Everything I have is fee green. So that's this color right here. So since it just so happens green is a Christmas color, I'm going to have to go with green. Consistency matters. All right, number 10, were you naughty or nice this year? Well, I would like to believe that I was nice, but there may be some people out there that may say different. Number 11, have you ever had a white Christmas? I live in Chicago. Really? Do I have to answer this? There's been a handful of times where we haven't had a white Christmas, but most of the time we have white Christmases here, despite the fact that I can't stand them. I have no problem with green Christmases, or somebody that I work with said, well, actually it would be a brown Christmas since the grass is dead by this point. But you know what? That's fine, really. I'm okay with it. I don't think snow is pretty. I know, I'm strange. There's something wrong with me. I just don't like snow. Some of you guys that have done this tag already, there's a handful of you that have said you've never had a white Christmas. Lori, the original creator of this tag, said she's never had a white Christmas. Oh my God. What I wouldn't give to trade with you guys, really. Okay, where was I? I went on and on and on and on with that one. Where was I? Number 12, can you name all of Santa's reindeer? Well, let's see. I have to play back the "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" poem in my head. So, on Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. plus Rudolph. I got him. All right, number 13. What is your Christmas wish this year? You know, I'm one of these people where I don't think a wish will come true if I tell it to you. It's just like when I wish upon a star or wish upon a shooting star. I have been lucky enough to see shooting stars a handful of times. I'm not typically superstitious, but with wishes, I can't tell you, otherwise it won't come true. And really, I'm not copping out. I'm serious about that. Now, praying is another story. I can pray for people and tell you about that. That's not a problem. But Christmas wishes, if I tell you, it won't come true. But I am sure most of you can figure out what my Christmas wish is going to be. It wouldn't be hard to figure out. Okay, number 14, some of your favorite Christmas songs. I am going to have to go way old school with this one, just because some of my favorites are oldies but goodies. I think my first one is a little bit off the beaten path. A lot of people don't say this one, but it is my number one favorite, and that is Baby It's Cold Outside. Hopefully you've heard that song before. Those of you who are watching this, hopefully you've heard that song before. If you haven't, go look it up. I think the reason why I like it the most is because, yes, it keeps getting done over and over and over again by different artists, but the very end of it is kind of ad-libby, and you end up with people saying different things at the end of the song. And I think that is so fun because the country versions of that song, for example, are completely different than like the versions from the 1950s or the classic versions from way before that even. I just think it's fun to listen to that song, and I don't know, I just really like it. I like duets, I guess. That might be what it is. And Baby It's Cold Outside is typically a duet. Okay, the other ones, I wrote down a couple here so I wouldn't forget them. The other ones that I really like is Do You Hear What I Hear, which is a classic, and Mary Did You Know. Now, I think that's a newer one. The version that I know of that song is a country version by Kenny Rogers and Winona Judd. I really, really like the lyrics of that song. So look that one up too. It's a great Christmas song. If you're religious, you have to be religious to like that song. Just putting it out there. All right, number 15, favorite Christmas film. I gotta be honest with you, I am not big into the Christmas movies, but I have a new favorite from this year. It was brand new this year, and it was cheesy and kind of stupid, but I loved it because it was a Christmas story and it had a cat in it, and it's my absolute favorite Christmas movie, and it's going to be my answer from now until the end of time. If you haven't figured it out already, it's Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever. I don't remember what channel it was on. I think it might have been Lifetime, and I'm sure if you look it up, they're probably still playing it right now. But it completely amused me. And it's probably because I love Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat is she's adorable. So, that's my answer. I actually have an answer for favorite Christmas movie now, thanks to Grumpy Cat. Imagine that. All right, number 16, we're getting to the end. Is your Christmas tree real or fake? Mine is fake. There's a lot of reasons why my tree is fake, but for me, the biggest reason is I have cats. And a real tree and cats in the same house is a really bad idea. Yeah, they like climbing trees, and they like chewing on trees, and they like eating trees. That's like hard-coded in their DNA. I mean, they were originally outdoor creatures. So having a real tree in your house and expecting your cat to leave it alone is like an impossibility. That's not going to happen unless your cat is, I don't know, 25 years old and can barely walk and just like sitting on your lap and that's it. Then maybe you'll be all right. But the typical cat, no, that's not going to happen. As it is, I don't know if you guys can tell, my tree is a pencil tree. Pencil tree for the win with people with cats, especially kittens. I used to do a big, gigantic tree. I love decorating Christmas trees, but I've had to really tone it down because of my kitties. I used to do a gigantic tree with a ton of lights. This, I know a lot of people might think this is a lot of lights right here. It's not for me. This really is toned down. With ribbons trailing down all four sides and glass ornaments. And any of you guys near the Chicago area will know this reference. I used to do my tree in a fashion where it could be put into a Marshall Field's window downtown. That's definitely a Chicago reference. Some people may know what that means. But essentially, it was just over the top decorated. And it's just what I love to do. And when I was a kid, I watched my aunt's best friend put up our tree every single year. And he was huge into Christmas. He's the guy I learned from. Unfortunately, both of them, my aunt and that friend, are no longer of this world. So whenever I put my tree up, it kind of makes me tear up because it makes me think of them. But yeah, this is really toned down for what I do. I ended up with pencil tree because when I used to do that big gigantic tree with my cats, I had a couple of cats that they could care less about the lights. They could care less about the ornaments. If you put tinsel on there, they'd probably leave that alone too. All they wanted to do was climb under the tree, scale the pole as high as they could, like up here somewhere, and either sit on one branch or curl around in a circle around the center pole. And of course, unless you're talking about a 2-pound cat, the tree is going to do this. And everything ends up everywhere. Pencil tree. They can't really scale it. There's not enough room in there. Towards the bottom, it's a little wider, but up towards here, there's really nowhere they can go. And this is the 3rd year I've done a pencil tree, and my tree has not been knocked down. It hasn't been scaled. It hasn't been climbed into. I found a couple ornaments here and there batted at, but they're cats. You're bound to expect that. All of my ornaments are actually acrylic now. I do still have all my glass ornaments, but they're up in a box, and one day when either A, I don't have cats, or B, all of my cats are old and don't care anymore, then maybe I'll try doing that again. Okay, last question. I know I keep going off on tangents with these questions, but I love Christmas tags, actually. This is great. Number 17, your favorite Christmas food. Unfortunately, most of my favorite Christmas foods are desserts. 3,000 calories, a ton of sugar. But they are kind of traditional to part of my heritage. Part of my heritage is Italian. And there's Italian Christmas cookies called pizzelles. They're normally about this big, but they're made on irons, and some of the newer irons, they make them like cookie size. But they kind of look like, they're kind of hard to describe. They kind of look like doughy, thick wafers almost, just because they're imprinted with a design from the iron. But they're mostly a ton of eggs, a ton of sugar, and anison, also known as anisette, if you say it in a dialect from Italy, which is kind of a licorice flavor. Now, I'm not big on licorice, but for some reason, if you put it in these cookies with the dough and the sugar and the eggs, it tastes completely different. But when you're making these cookies, if you walk into somebody's house who has made these cookies, that smell hits you like a brick wall. You cannot mistake it. But I grew up with my grandmother and then my aunts making them, and then recently I've made them numerous times. I ran out of time the last couple of years, but I am trying to fit it in tomorrow night, Tuesday night, right before Christmas Eve, because I haven't had them in a couple of years, and they are my favorite. The other thing that I love is another cookie. It's another Italian cookie. It's called a rosette. Now, it's cookie size, but it actually closer resembles a funnel cake than it does a cookie, because it's made with a drop iron. You put it in oil, it makes a pattern, and then you kind of peel the cookie off the oil and let it dry, and then you douse it with powdered sugar, and it's just, it's so good. I could eat them by the dozen. I shouldn't, but I could. The other more basic, more well-known Christmas food, or in my case, dessert, that I love is red velvet anything. Red velvet cake. I have a recipe that I make almost every year for red velvet Bailey's cake. Anything with Bailey's in it around Christmas is good in my book. Anything red velvet. That's about it. As for regular food, I don't know. It kind of, it's hit or miss. I think I said this for Thanksgiving. I could also say it for Christmas, and that's ham. I love ham. Uh, but I have had all kinds of Christmas dinners of every variety, so it's kind of hard to pick. So I'm going with the desserts. So I got to go with the Italian desserts. They are my absolute favorite. All right, that's it. That's 17 questions. This went a little long because I can't seem to stop yapping. But hopefully you enjoyed this. I will put the questions below. I will put Lori's original video below. And if you're interested in watching a couple other ones that I have seen people do responses to this, I will also try and link those below. Try and do this tag. I would love to hear your answers. Like I said about the Thanksgiving tag that I did, if you don't get a chance to do this before Christmas, by all means do it after Christmas. We would still love to hear your answers. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Talk to you later.